Hello, I'm Carol Borderman, and this is Perfect 10, your daily brain workout to get you sharper and smarter for 2023. 10 questions, 10 points, all done in 10 minutes. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and like to get the next episode as soon as it drops. We are here for you Monday to Friday. Okay, before we get started with today's Perfect 10, at the end of yesterday's podcast, I asked you which legendary guitarist can be found in this word, narcoleptic. Well, that sleepy rock star is in fact Eric Clapton. Another one of those later. Remember, no points for our anagrams, no points for that. That was just for fun. Right, let's crack on with the show, shall we? Here comes Thursday's Perfect 10. We call round one your starter for a Perfect 10. Which of your organs uses 20% of the total oxygen in your body? Think about it. And yes, that's a clue. Question 2 is our hearsay round, which puts your ears and your problem-solving synapses to work together. You're about to hear some sounds which relate to a well-known phrase or saying. So, what phrase is hidden in these sounds? Say what you hear, say. So, what well-known phrase or saying was that? And this is a clue. The phrase I'm looking for is also the title of a very famous song. Question 3 is my Carol lateral thinking round to get that lateral part of your brain working. So try coming at this one from a different angle. Which single-digit number becomes larger when seen upside down? Well, if numbers aren't your thing, how about this next round, question 4, our memory game. Listen closely to all the details in this next clip because I'll have a question at the end of it, okay? Memory at the ready. Here we go.
Just a reminder that every day, each week, we have a number of events here at the William Morris. It kicks off with Open Mic Mondays, our long-standing pub quiz on Tuesdays. Then it's wine tasting Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we have happy hour on all cocktails. And at the weekend, we have our ever popular Bar Olympics on a Friday, the launch of Saturday Singles Night, and of course, what better way to wrap up the week than with a Sunday roast accompanied by our very own acoustic band.
Wow, lots going on down at the Perfect 10 local this week, but were you paying attention? I hope so, because here is your memory question. What day is the pub quiz? Could you guess I was going to ask you that? I love a pub quiz. And listen, if you play along with Perfect 10 every day, you'll be armed with loads of useful facts and information the next time you do your local quiz. So keep an eye out for your fellow Perfect 10 players next time you're there and say hello. Okay, questions 5, 6 and 7 are all part of the 3 Fs, frivolous, familiar and fun. Questions about everyday life that'll test how much attention you've been paying to the world around us. Here is your question 5. What is the most commonly used letter in the English language? Here's a tip. Just grab something to read and see if any letters stand out. There's no time limit here on Perfect 10, so you can stop, you can pause, you can go and have a cuppa, you can think, you can come back. I will wait for you, I promise, but don't look up the answer on the internet. Question 6 now. What does the M in ATM stand for? We see them almost every day, but have you ever stopped to think about what those 3 letters stand for? Question 7, and here's one from a classic and well-loved Disney movie. In the Disney animated classic, how many of Snow White's 7 dwarfs have names ending in the letter Y? If you can remember all 7 names, then I bet you've just banked yourself another point. Are you heading for a Perfect 10 score? Well, let's see what question 8 can do for you. It's 1 in, 1 out, and you just need to do some alphabetical chopping and changing. So, which letter can you change in the word printer, Printer, to make a word that you could use to describe your finger? Don't forget, you can pause the show and give your brain cells a chance to cool down and regroup while we move on to question 9, which is called I know this. as it's an answer that'll be on the tip of your tongue if you can just apply some common sense. And because today is National Pizza Day, here's one all about the UK's favourite cheesy takeaway. Margherita pizzas have tomato, basil and mozzarella toppings. But what is the patriotic reason for this? I know you know this. Just think about the pizza. Where is it from and what it represents? There'll be another point here for you. I am absolutely sure of that. And here we are already at question 10, which is, as ever, our daily riddle. Here we go. What creature can be both kept on a hook and found in a book? You did it. Well done, quizzes. The answers are coming up, so if you need to rewind and pause, be my guest. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. And if you want to entertain, educate and irritate me, please send me your own puzzles too at Perfect10Carol on Instagram and TikTok. Perfect 10. 10 questions, 10 points, all done in 10 minutes. But did you score a perfect 10 today? Here's where you find out. Question 1. Which of your organs uses 20% of the total oxygen in your body? I asked you to think about it because the answer is your brain. Question 2, our hearsay round. And which well-known phrase or saying does that relate to? The answer is knocking on heaven's door. The famous song I mentioned in the clue was by Bob Dylan, later covered by Guns N' Roses. Question 3 was Carol lateral thinking. Which single-digit number becomes larger when seen upside down? And the answer is the number 6. Flip it on its head and you've got yourself a 9. Question 4 was our memory game. I asked you, what day is the pub quiz? A simple enough question, but did you manage to retain the answer? The answer was Tuesday. Question 5, and we're now into the 3 Fs, frivolous, familiar and fun. What's the most commonly used letter in the English language? And the answer is the letter E. And I used it 6 times in that question. It appears in just over 11% of all words in the Oxford English Dictionary. And I can tell you from experience, it was probably the most popular vowel ever on Countdown. Question 6. What does the M in ATM stand for? The answer is machine. ATM stands for automated teller machine, which means if you say ATM machine, you're actually saying automated teller machine. Question 7. In the Disney animated classic, how many of Snow White's 7 dwarfs have names ending in the letter Y? And the answer is 5. Dopey, Grumpy, Sneezy, Sleepy and Happy. And the 2 remaining dwarfs were Bashful and Doc. Question 8. Which letter can you change in the word printer to make a word that you could use to describe your finger? And the answer is change the R to an O and you get the word pointer. Question 9. Margherita pizzas have tomato, basil and mozzarella toppings. But what is the patriotic reason for this? Or did you get it? The ingredients represent the colours on the Italian flag. And why is it named a margherita? It was originally made to honour Margherita, the Queen of Italy, in 1889. And look, I know it's not the weekend quite yet, but it is National Pizza Day. So if you want to order in tonight instead of cooking, you've got a pretty good reason. And finally, question 10, our daily riddle. What creature can be both kept on a hook and found in a book? And the answer is a worm on the end of a fishing line on a hook. And of course, you have a bookworm. And how did you do? Did you score a perfect 10? Remember, make sure to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on YouTube and across our social media channels so you don't miss out on any of our shows. Before I say goodbye, I'll leave you with today's anagram. Which 80s pop sensation is an anagram of the rather unpleasant Bogey Ogre? Bogeyoogre. No, Shrek had a pop career. Answer's not Shrek. So who is that bogey ogre? You'll find out tomorrow when it's a whole new day of questions, poses and puzzles. I'm Carol Vorderman, and that was my perfect 10. So have a perfect day.